Do you know what's truly scary? Some people will work their entire lives and still die broke, not because they're lazy, not because they're unlucky, but because of three silent habits that destroy their future without them even realizing it. Ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully. What I'm about to tell you is not theory, it's reality. Every day, millions of people wake up early, fight traffic, work hard, come home exhausted, collapse on the bed, and repeat the same cycle. Days become months. Months become years. But when you ask them about savings, about investments, about growth, the answer is always the same. Nothing. They worked, but they remain poor. And the question is why? Let me tell you a story. A man once told me, if only I had more money, my life would change. But the truth is, even if you gave him more, he would still lose it. Why? Because poor habits will always defeat good luck. That's why lottery winners go broke. That's why people who inherit money lose it. Money without new habits is like water in your hand. It slips away. Habit 1, survival spending. Most people live month to month. The salary comes, and before the weekend ends, it's gone. Rent, bills, food, a new phone they don't need, a dinner outside to feel good. And then they say, I don't have any opportunity. But here's the truth. They're not planting anything. They're eating the seed. I know this because I did the same. When I finally got a job after countless rejections, I thought life would change. But every time I earned more, I spent more. I wasn't growing. I was running on a treadmill. Let me paint a picture. Two young men work in the same factory. Same job. Same salary. Same hours. One comes home tired and turns on the TV. The other also comes home tired, but he spends 1 hour learning something new. 10 years later, one is still in the factory. The other owns a company. The difference isn't luck. It's habits. And here's the painful truth. When all you think about is surviving today, you never build for tomorrow. Look at J.K. Rowling. She was broke, rejected 12 times, raising a child alone. She had every excuse to quit. But she planted her seed. She kept writing. That seed grew into books, then movies, then an empire. The same with Oprah Winfrey. Born into poverty. Abused. Working in a grocery store at 14. She didn't complain. She invested in her voice and turned pain into power. Because poverty begins in the mind before it appears in the wallet. Habit 2. Falling into money traps. The moment most people get extra money, what do? Do they save? Do they invest? No. They buy something new. A phone, a TV, a car they can't afford, a dinner they don't need. Poor people want to look rich. Rich people want to stay rich. A man earning $500 a month will happily take a loan to buy a $1,000 phone. That's not success. That's a trap. I knew a man who got a raise. Instead of investing, he took a loan and bought a new car. People admired him. But every month, half his salary went to the bank. He didn't buy a car. He bought a prison. Another trap is fear. People say, I won't start a business. It's risky. I won't invest. I might lose money. So they put their life savings into a bank account earning 2% while inflation eats 10%. Doing nothing is the biggest risk of all. If Jeff Bezos had stayed in his comfortable job, Amazon would never exist. He understood a truth most people never learn. The biggest risk is never trying. And then there's procrastination. One day I'll save. One day I'll invest. One day I'll start. But one day never comes. Time slips away quietly. Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. The earlier you start, the more your future grows. Your environment is also a trap. Your 5 closest friends decide your future. If they gossip, complain, and waste time, you'll do the same. If they talk about ideas, opportunities, and growth, you'll rise with them. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Habit 3. Blaming and making excuses. Poor people blame everything except themselves. My boss doesn't pay enough. The government doesn't support me. My parents weren't wealthy. It feels good, but it fixes nothing. Because the moment you blame, you give away your power. 2 shopkeepers had the same problem. No customer traffic. One complained every day. The other said, if people don't come to me, I'll go to them. He started deliveries. He reached out to neighbors. He built trust. One stayed poor. The other became the owner of a supermarket. Same street, same problem, different habits. Excuses are chains. You think the world tied you down, but it's your own mindset. Your future is not controlled by your boss, the economy, or the government. It is controlled by your choices. When you blame, you delay. When you take responsibility, you take control. The day you stop saying, it's not my fault, and start saying, it's my responsibility, that is the day your journey to success begins. Final message. Poverty is not just a lack of money. It's a lack of the right habits. You can give two people the same opportunity, the same education, even the same money. One will rise. One will fall. Why? Habits. Nobody is born poor forever. You may be born with nothing, but if you die with nothing, it's because the habits never changed. Chains of habit are too light to feel until they become too heavy to break. But today, right now, you have a choice. To keep the habits that keep you poor, or adopt the habits that make you free. Success is not built in a day, but it is built daily. Your habits are building your future right now. Choose wisely. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe.